Shout out to Sun Goddess for sending me this story. And this story right here is just laughable at best. So this guy's name is Lieutenant Daniel McWilliams, and he has recently opened up or filed a new lawsuit against the fire department of New York over something that happened back in November of 2017. So back in 2017, there was something called the Vulcan Society, that where they were holding a memorial for these individuals who died, I guess, while being active. And a group of black firefighters within the department decided that they were going to hold like their own little special memorial ceremony for these individuals. And part of that ceremony was them was carrying the flag. This guy got upset because he could not be a part of the ceremony. Now I'm going to go ahead and read the article, and y'all going to just see how ridiculous this sounds, but it also leads to a greater point. A white firefighter charged in a new lawsuit that his civil rights were violated by his racially motivated exclusion from an FDNY color guard honoring black department members. Lieutenant Daniel McWilliams, in a Brooklyn federal court suit filed Friday, alleged that he was callously booted from serving as a flag bearer at the November 19, 2017 memorial mass for deceased members of the Vulcan Society, a group of black firefighters within the FDNY. Now, that lets you know that the Vulcan Society was designated for black firefighters. To this Daniel McWilliams individual, what color are you? What race are you? We know white people claim they don't see color, but in this instance, we know that he sees color because his next statement is going to prove that. He said, Lieutenant, I specifically requested an all-black color guard, said one-time society president Regina Wilson, according to the lawsuit. Now, he says, are you removing me from the color guard because I am not black? Replied McWilliams, a 29-year FDNY veteran assigned to its ceremonial unit. So he must have thought because he had 29 years under his belt that just gave him open and free reign to be a part of something that was specifically designated for all the black members of that department. To which she replied, yes, I am. The court papers quote Wilson as replying. According to the lawsuit, the racially charged exchanges, quote unquote, were overheard by McWilliams' friends and colleagues, and the firefighter left the church to save himself from further shame, humiliation, and embarrassment. Of course, he felt embarrassed because he knows what he did was messed up. He was trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. McWilliams was one of the 3 FDNY members in the memorable post 9/11 photo showing the trio raising an American flag amid the rubble at Ground Zero. He first filed a complaint about the memorial incident with the FDNY in January 2018. As a result of the defendant's conduct, McWilliams has suffered severe shame, emotional distress, and damage to his reputation, the lawsuit charged. See, now they're trying to go and overextend this thing as if he really suffered something. All they said was, no, you couldn't be a part of it because it was for the black members and you're not black. Defendant Wilson intentionally, maliciously, and publicly stripped the plaintiff of his prestigious honor on account of his race. See, he's trying to play the reverse racist thing right here. The court filing seeks a jury trial to set compensatory and punitive damages against the Vulcan Society, the FDNY, Wilson, and the city of New York. We will review the complaint once we are served and respond accordingly. Emails to the Vulcan Society and the FDNY were for comment were not returned Saturday, and Wilson did not respond to texts and calls about the lawsuit. The court filing goes on to detail how Wilson, during an investigation by the FDNY's Equal Employment Opportunity Office, asserted that she held the power to request an all-black color guard for the event and to boot any members who appeared at the memorial. So with that right there, with them basically allowing her to do that, his little lawsuit or whatever should not have any merit or any standing. They should just toss that right on out. The FDNY Bureau of Legal Affairs, arguing against McWilliams, contended his dismissal from the color guard was a non-discriminatory, subtle exclusion of the plaintiff, but McWilliams accused the FDNY of once again turning a blind eye to discrimination and creating a double standard within the FDNY. Now, this guy has been with that department for 29 years. I would like to see his record. I would like to see his background. Has he done anything discriminatory against anybody? Because if they can come up with something even one time, that means that he has no grounds to stand on. And I guess it's being thrown back into his face. But it's nothing discrimination or discriminatory against him. They specifically said they wanted an all-black unit there for that event because it was respecting and honoring the black members of that society. He is not black. Simple as that. And see, this leads to a bigger thing. This is historical right here. See, white people have shut out black people on a historical front out of many, many, many things. That's one major reason why that racial wealth gap is so large between us and them. Because we've been shut out of many institutions, and we couldn't do it because they make the policy. They pretty much own the establishment. So there was nothing we could do. The minute we do something for ourselves, they try to insert their ways in there. And when we tell them no, and shout out to this woman for putting her foot down. Her name is Regina Wilson, for putting her foot down and like, no, you're not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to kowtow to you. As a matter of fact, let me pull up a picture of her. This is Regina Wilson right here. This is the one that basically said, I'm not letting you in because you're white. But it's stuff like that, which is why a lot of black organizations got ruined, because you had white people that tried to bargain their way in or try to schmooze their way in. But when black people put their foot down, it's like this: no matter how much money you throw in my face, I'm not about to kowtow. This is for us and us specifically. If you want to do something else in honor for you, then I'm sure there's some million things that you can find. But let us have this one thing. And now he's upset because he has been a part of other ceremonial things before, but the one time he can't be a part of something, he wants to now file a lawsuit against her, the department, and that society. And then they talk about us going and falling into victimhood. This man just fell right into the same thing that they claim that we fall victim to every single time: our own victimhood. I could not take him seriously whatsoever, and apparently neither could the people around him. That's why all the stuff pretty much fell in shambles. And I hope that court doesn't uphold it. And from the looks of it, it doesn't look like it's going to have enough weight, because they basically allowed her to do this. So it's not like she was doing it outside of her parameter. They said, you can do this. But he feels, and there goes that word feels again. He feels he was wronged because he's a white guy and because he's not black. And she said, yes, I am saying you cannot be a part of this because you are white and not black. Like I said, he probably thought because he had 29 years under his belt being a part of that department, and that he was a part of that whatever dealing with post 9/11, that gave him enough reign, or that was enough for him to be a part of this. But he was missing one crucial thing, and that was his skin color being a bit too pale. So he's going to have to deal with that. But I thought this was funny as hell right here. That kind of reminds me of that chick down in Texas who tried to say she couldn't get in because of affirmative action not working for her. But when it came down to it, and when they really did some digging, it was because her test grades were horrible compared to the others that got in over her. But she still contended that it was affirmative action, just like this guy is still contending that it's racial discrimination. No, it's because you're white. Now you know what it feels like to be shut out from something that's not exclusive or even semi-exclusive to you, because your ancestors have been doing that for God knows how long to ours. And this is only a drop in the bucket. Like I said, there's millions of other things he could have gone that he can go and be a part of that I'm sure these individuals probably can't be a part of. Let them have their own thing. Because like I said, many of them probably cannot be a part of anything else. It's a shame that a lot of Black people have to create their own little, I don't want to call it a club, but their own little group within departments such as this, when because they're facing discriminatory actions from others who's possibly him. Like I said, he could be a very discriminatory, a very bigoted person for all we know. He's not going to say it. But I salute to her and to the Vulcan Society for having their own thing and standing firmly on their square, and not allowing anyone to try to steamroll their thing. But that's just how they get down. Whenever they can't get their way, they'll find a way to take it down. Let's be real here. That's what they've done over the course of history to everything that we've had, from like black businesses, black towns, and everything else in between. And even to this day, they'll find a way to try to sabotage it. But I don't think his little claim is going to go too far. Based on what I've read, no one's going to take that seriously, because they specifically allow her to do it, and they said for black people only. And realize he's the only white guy who has a problem with it. No one else in the department who's not black, who can't be a part of this, is upset but him. It's not like he brought in a whole bunch of people with him, or a whole bunch of other people was upset. He's the only one. So that lets you know that he's really not going to have much of a case either, because he's literally a party of one against a party of many. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.